Okay, I'm Francesca. You guys, you know me.
No
You know
way.
my last name.
Um, I'm Kayla.
I'm Darian.
Hey, I'm Katie.
Hi, I'm Haley. You guys probably know me as Leech, but I'm Kleiner now.
All right. Hi, I'm Mickey.
Hi, I'm Corey. Some people know me as Corinne's daughter.
My name is Annette Stapleton.
Hey, Brianna.
Hi, I'm Erica.
Hi, my name's Shia.
Hey, I'm Mackenzie.
Hi, I'm Lexi.
I'm Kirsten.
I'm Jasmine. The reason why I wanted to do all this was not only to catch up because we're not seeing each other. Basically, we be at skating meets or nationals, what had just happened. But the other reason I want to do this is to bring together all the female skaters because I feel like sometimes male skaters get more attention than females, and I just wanted to, bring us all together and really talk about skating and our experiences, which could help younger female skaters get to where we are today.
It was really hard at first because, we were set to go to Germany like the week before, like a week after like this all had happened. So was sad about that. Really wanted to go. I was looking forward to it. The group we were skating with, we stopped training together because obviously this whole thing was really bad and still is. And then got COVID, so that sucked. And I couldn't train at all. And then was trying to get myself back, and now we're still going back what I used to be doing.
So in Utah, we most of May we couldn't use the oval or the facility. So it was a lot of dry land and running and biking, but it was all on your own. And when we did do group training, 6 feet from each other and wearing masks. So because you can't breathe through the mask and get your heart rate to 180. That kind of sucked. And then we got back on the ice in end of May, beginning of June, but then it was groups of 2 on the ice for 1 hour. And then you skate opposite ends of the rink. And then a week after that, it was groups of 4. So then eventually we got to the whole team. But we're still having to wear masks on the ice and skating 6 feet from each other. So everything we do, it's you're leading the entire drill. So that sucks. So training's been prohibited here, but we can still use the weight room and stuff. So it's a better situation than most people have, which is nice. It's just frustrating that we can't do our normal training,
I'm supposed to go to Germany, and then that got canceled. And I remember my whole family was being sad about that because I always really wanted to go to Germany. And then I found it really hard for me just because I'm the only one within about an hour radius of where I live. So I ended up grabbing people from Shelton and actually a couple of past skaters. One of them just joined Auburn this last year. And we ended up getting together and we were skating in school parking lots, park parking lots. We were doing that pretty heavily for a little while. A couple months after COVID had kind of settled down here. And then, people got busy again, and then things getting shut down even worse. So now I've just been trying to go and do indoor workouts when I can.
For me, training really didn't change much other than going into the gym. Excuse my dog. Being a prince. So typically it's just me and my mom at trainings, so nothing really changed as far as that. Like I said, just gym, but I was lucky enough to where my mom had a lot of equipment that I could use, so I had a full squat rack downstairs, so everything just kept going other than competitions. But I haven't been to a competition since Duluth last year, so I guess we can keep that going. So that's pretty much it.
Darren, because I know you were in quarantine for a little bit when you got back to the States.
Yeah, this sucks. I was supposed to be in Colombia until July so that I could go to hopefully Worlds that was supposed to be there and then come home and get married. And got completely changed because I was doing full-time training for triathlon and doing skating at the same time, but I was focusing more to try to have fun doing triathlon and then skate for fun. But yeah, so Junior was actually down there, and Stephanie brought him home, and I messaged my mom. I remember I was like, do you think it's gonna get that serious? Do you think I need to come home? And she's like, no, it's still fine. And like 2 days later, they started canceling all of the flights to come back. I was like,
That sucked. It
I
sucked.
need
We were all supposed to be there.
yeah, I need to go home. And our flights got canceled 3-4 times. We came back. I had to go quarantine up at our cabin where it was still snowing, so I couldn't do anything. And then I kept stuck up there for a while. And so now I've just been like training in the house. I can't really go to the gym. I skate like once a week, but this stuff.
Kayla, I think you're one of the only people, I may be wrong, one of the skaters that I know closely that's had COVID.
Yes,
like,
I did.
how bad was that?
It sucked. It was terrible.
How long did it take?
Well, I didn't want to go and get tested because I thought it was just allergies, but my mom made me go and get tested. And the first week like wasn't really that bad. Like I was just kind of bored, like, okay, I gotta quarantine. I was in my room for a week. But then like after a week, everything started to get like a lot worse. And then they were talking about like going to see like a doctor and everything. But then like one day it was just so weird. Like everything just went away. It took a while for my taste and smell to come back, but they eventually did.
Wow.
So long story short, it was terrible.
Yeah.
And the test is terrible.
Did you say the test is terrible? Because I have to get it in like 2
Yes,
days.
it's terrible. They don't
I have to get it twice. I have to get it 2 times, not just once.
It's still up your nose or something.
Yeah, like I felt like they were like touching my brain. It was terrible.
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, I won't lie. I cried.
I mean, I would.
I'm so scared.
You'll be fine.
Okay.
It's like 10 seconds and you're done. Less than that.
Yeah, but still, something like going to feel like that.
No, there's nothing to like sugarcoat it. It's terrible.
Corey and Mackenzie, do both of you guys have to take a COVID questionnaire before you can practice?
Yep, every day we walk in, there's a form we have to fill out, and they take our temperature as we walk in the door. So they're doing very well with that part of it, and we all feel really safe, but just a lot of rules to follow, for sure. But it's great that we're allowed back in there, because we didn't lose too much, honestly, so. Yep. Belgium, Italy.
Spain.
Netherlands was awesome.
Oh yeah, duh, Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
All of Europe, anything in Europe.
I mean,
Belgium.
Spain, the track and the road course was not great, but
yeah, that year honestly it wasn't. I wouldn't rank that one.
I don't want to bring back members from that.
Hey, at least you won.
Yeah.
Who else left Colombia? Is that just me?
I didn't do a Worlds in Colombia. I missed that one.
Brandon
racing in
liked Worlds
Colombia.
in Colombia.
Yeah.
Colombia was it. There was huge crowds. It was fun. The food was good. Everything. Sorry, I'm not.
I love going in general, so I would vote that probably if I was there that year. But I broke my collarbone, so.
Philly. Does anyone remember the Philly meet?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I went, yeah. Absolutely.
If you haven't
Cornwall.
skated NSC, you have to experience it. You have to. Like,
Yeah.
it's just so different than any other race you'll ever do.
Yeah,
Just because, you know, all of the lights, all the music, all of that stuff.
It's trying to this year.
I don't think I'll make it back for that.
It's okay. It's okay.
I would say, definitely. I'd say throwback to the prime days of the West Palm meet, though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. When we had the whole weekend and they had the indoor too, like all 3 days.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
For me, I think it goes back before anybody on here was ever skating, but Downers Grove. I think it was even in like Illinois. But
Yeah, that's
Downers Grove,
Illinois, baby.
half of it was uphill, the other
Ooh.
half was downhill. It was like the worst possible scenario for a race, but it was really cool to do. And then at the end, they would have a sprinter from the speed versus a cyclist, and they would
No
sprint
way.
to see. Yeah, and Keith Turner was actually one of the
Oh,
ones that
sick.
won against the cyclist. So it was actually pretty cool that they would have us versus the cyclist. And
Right.
so I missed those.
I would love that race. That's awesome.
For quarantine, we skated with the bikers for starts.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Where's that?
The track cyclist or?
I don't know.
Probably, because they were all training over there. That's awesome.
Hey, Aaron, your turn.
Nice.
Does anyone remember the 10K in Atlanta that they used to do? That I liked that race a lot. It was we did it one year after a different race that was in Georgia, and it started like going down this huge hill. And I remember Harry won it one year. We went, I think I got first or second that year. I don't know, but it was this crazy course that was just like hills for a straight 10K. And it was
My mom would never let me do it because I was little.
I think it was in a park, wasn't it?
It started.
It was like a track in a park, and you had to go up, and then you went down.
Yeah, it was really cool. I really liked it.
I walked it, and it was nervous because there was, yeah.
It was cool.
Personally, so as a cyclist, Strava has been a big thing because on the same roads that I go on, I like to like beat my own times on there. I know it's like super weird, but like it helps you know like if you're getting better or this or that. And like training as a group still in Utah, like I still want to be better than the other person. So thinking ahead to the season has been helping a lot versus just worrying about like, oh, what if we're not racing? Because we're still in the off season, so I think that's been an easier mentality than skipping the whole inline season. So
we have, because we at Tractor Town, we have a big one, like 1,000 meter loop. So we send one person off and we try to keep catching them. So we just have like a bunch of races, but we make sure we're distance and everything, trying to catch and beat our times basically.
Anyone else?
I have a question. Sorry. Sorry. You can go, Bree.
No, what's your question? I want to know.
Oh, okay. For everyone who's not training, who's, living life, having fun, what are you guys doing? What are you guys excited for? Do you have anything coming up? Let us know.
Darian, Kirsten.
I still kind of skate.
Well, I know you skate, but yeah, like your wedding's coming up.
I just started cycling. Mackenzie, I bet you love that one.
yeah, I do. I'm so proud.
Yeah, I just started. I'm really missing Derby right now, especially hitting Kelsey now that she finally started. But yeah, we were supposed to have a game when COVID first started against one of our biggest rivalries, and we beat them last year by 1 point. So this year we were going down to their turf in South Carolina, and they were coming for us. They even invited the mayor because they really wanted to beat us. I was really upset. So
Wait, Derby is happening or not?
no, it is. We have some coaches that don't think we should get together, but some of us have been skating. I kind of been skating on my quads, but no teams are really allowed to start practicing. It's with those rules. They can pull our license if they know that we're practicing.
Me, I'm a teacher, and I teach elementary school, and I don't know if you guys have been hearing it in the news, but it's all over Facebook, the whole issue, and trying to figure out how to get back into the classroom. And no teacher wants to be teaching online. It's not an ideal thing. And it looks like at least most of our state in Michigan is going to be teaching online first, but
Did
I'm
you
excited I'm sorry?
Did you
guys have your hands full right now?
Oh, it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible because I have 2 teenagers, and have, going to high school and never have been online before, and now you have to be successful online, and then I have to teach fifth graders online. It's just so I guess I'm excited for, at some point in time, phase 6 and being completely in the classroom and not having to worry about everything. But yeah, right now it's horrible because nobody knows anything. But with our little bit of time, I was actually going to ask Darian how the wedding planning was going. Sorry.
It's going good. It's complicated because right now the club in Michigan keeps on like, oh, we're getting better. We're not getting better. We're fine. No, we're not.
Yep.
So the place where I'm actually supposed to be having the ceremony, our list was actually like 150 or 160 people, and as of right now, we can only have 75. And my fiance's whole family is locked in a different country. The airport is supposed to open in September, and that's when they're supposed to be able to get their visas when the embassy opens. So hopefully that's able to happen. If not, who knows?
Yeah, Kirsten's wedding planning too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah. How's that going?
It's going good. We go in about 2 weeks to Clearwater, Florida to pick out a venue. We are looking at least 5 venues, but we're gonna do it next year on our 10-year anniversary.
Aww.
So October.
When are you down in Clearwater?
August 17th through the 23rd.
So
You
Kirsten,
come
it'll
visit
be
me, Katie.
it'll be October then, right?
But you're so
Yeah,
close.
October 23rd.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
October.
Just got a plan.
You pick.
I mean, like, 'cause I know you have like sponsors and everything, and
I'll say it. I wasn't sponsored anymore. I loved my Simmons.
Of course.
I loved them.
Simmons.
Yeah, I definitely liked my. It wasn't a custom, but I definitely liked my Lugino Bolt because it definitely helped with my shin problems.
Pinnacle
for me.
Pinnacle Racing.
yeah.
Great. I like
I
Pinnacle.
agree.
Best
Listen,
food I ever had.
I know it's Inline, but when I switched to Bont, they sent me a pair of customs and I put them on the day before internationals, rolled around the Embassy Hotel like the night before racing and went out to race the next day. True story. Don't recommend that. That was highly obnoxious. That's just who I was back then.
Yeah, my
I
dad
love
changed
it.
my flight at nationals too, so.
I would personally prefer to skate on a new boot like every week if that were
Yeah, true.
an option, but that's not an option.
I'll just say I like Simmons. I've always skated on the Simmons. So shout out to Dave and Jen. They make a great boot. I got it. The skates I have now, they're the first ones that I wore like without anything, like barefoot. And I got them and I went to like a 3-day like clinic in Colorado. And I wouldn't recommend that. That's terrible. Feet were covered in blisters. But they're great now, so yeah.
Yeah. Pinnacle for me, because I used to always have to wear like thick socks with my skates, and now I just put my foot on my Pinnacle and go, and I haven't gotten a blister since.
I think I've skated on.
Bounce for me.
Yep, Erica, you have.
I think I've skated on everything, but my Pinnacles right now are probably my favorite. So, yay.
For me, I'd have to say it'd be my Simmons because I've had Simmons. I've had like 4 or 5 pairs of them, but like even before then, I was on struts, Lugino struts, like the whole like time from when I was like a tiny tot. Actually, no, to that back when I was tiny tot, I had Verducci's, and then when I was a primary all the way through like freshman, I had different colored Lugino struts. But then when I transferred over to Simmons, like I had like no arch problems. And then all of a sudden, like the last couple of years, I've had a lot of arch problems. And like even getting my customs, like I just can't find the sweet spot in my skates because I wear socks. I don't like skating without socks. But I
Girl,
don't
you
wear.
gotta try it. You gotta try it.
I tried it, and I just
gotta try it.
Do it. Do it.
Do it. I think you'll feel better.
Yeah.
I can't say that I haven't tried it without socks. It's just that like the first I'd say the first month that I had my Simmons, I was trying to like figure out like whether I wanted to skate with laces, with socks, without laces, without socks. I literally tried like everything, and I couldn't find like a sweet spot where my feet were just like perfectly comfortable. I'm thinking that maybe I just need insoles put in. I don't know what it is yet. I don't know if it's too much arch, too little arch. Still messing around with it, so.
Yeah, I have high arches, so I literally cannot skate on a stock boot anymore, or I will be in pain after 5 minutes. But my boot, because I first had a Kaiser, which really helped with my arch, and then I just went to a Pinnacle afterwards because they just seemed lighter.
Yeah.
But I think I did start out, it was either a Verducci or a Bonk boot when I first started. And then it was Lugino until I got my customs.
Can everyone here agree that Luigino knew what he was doing with boots? Or
I'm sorry?
Like, I think everyone here had a Verducci, yeah?
Yeah, I started on one.
Yeah.
I had a Verducci.
I had a Verducci.
I started on a Lugino challenge, the
adjustable
ones.
Yeah.
I had those forever for like.
I remember when you had those.
Me too.
those were my boots for a while.
I thought that was so cool with those adjustables. I was like, yeah, I got some adjustable skates.
Yeah, but they like saved a bunch of money because you didn't have to buy a new boot every year.
Yeah,
that's true. They went up like 2 or 3 sizes, I think.
I was only in it for a year though because I grew like 5 sizes. So if you were, let's say it was a 500-meter race, what kind of wheels would you wear?
Indoor or outdoor?
Indoor.
Track
or indoor first, and then we'll do
Track or road.
Indoor first, and then we'll get to the outdoor.
It wouldn't matter what wheel I wore. I just had to be sure to get off the line first because 500 is just not for me. So it didn't matter.
Annette, you beat me in a 500 one time. Never forget that.
Did you fall?
No, you beat me. You beat me.
I don't remember that.
I do.
I had the same problem as Annette. There's no getting off that line. Nope. Just got to keep building. But I would probably wear anything that NSC put on my skates. Just always
agree.
I'd go with that vote right now too. Back in the day, Matters were the go-to, but NSC these days that's all I wear. So
I don't skate indoor.
Okay, so outdoor, track, road.
Indoor. I don't
What's indoor?
What is indoor?
What's wood?
I think a little bit. Yeah, I was the same. All right, then we'll go to outdoor.
Outdoor.
We'll do track.
Track?
Yeah.
MPCs.
I wear junks. Yeah, MPC.
MPCs,
Junks to be
yeah.
specific.
Black Magics.
Black Magic X Firm.
Junk firm.
Black Magic or the track assaults from the last time I skated track.
Yeah.
Probably a loner because
Road G13s.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Road is definitely
forever and ever and ever.
Always.
Go to.
Yep.
Are they? Because I know Katie skated on the 1 year and they were not good in the rain.
No, they're very bad in the rain.
No, they suck in the rain.
That whole race, I was like, please stop raining. Please stop raining. Please stop raining.
We were jumping over.
I
all the
remember
pit
that.
No,
That was
they're
like-
not
It was
good in the
fine.
rain.
It worked out. It was all good.
That was
the worst wheels
Mid
of the
race,
race.
it started sprinkling, and
I got off the track.
a lot of people had G13s on, and I had NPCs on. I was like, "Oh, I can cross the corner," so I just started going faster just to like try to make a gap, and everyone's sliding on their G13s.
Nothing's really great in the
The
rain.
one person that had G13s on, but it's
I think it was you.
No, there were other people.
like,
There
hold
were
on,
other-
wait.
I made the switch.
2017, I think. And I
Yeah.
took a hard stage right. I
It was,
said
in
no.
that, it was in that parking lot with the hill.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
other races.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
Oh yeah.
I'd have to say though, when it comes to skating, when it comes to skating on track though, about 5 or 6 years ago, I think my all-time favorite wheel was the TLTF Game Changers
The purple ones?
and the
Those
world
purples.
records.
Ooh, baby.
The purple?
And the world records. No, these ones were they had a white urethane with a maroon hub.
I had those. Yeah. Okay.
And I loved those so much. I had one set of each. I had Game Changers and then I had world records. And I was really upset once they stopped producing them. But then this last year, I figured out that they came out with the strain, which is little similar. It's not exact, but it's similar. So I bought a set of those.
Nice.
I remember Kenzie the one time ran out of the purple world record wheels, and I had to give her mine.
I was so sad.
My dad ran over and says, "I need your wheels. We're giving them to Kenzie."
Dude,
I actually
they
found
were so good.
those the other day.
Yeah,
I found random ones before I moved out to Utah when I was cleaning the house out, and I was like, "Oh, the purples."
Yeah, I gave them up to a little kid that needed them. So
Yeah, they're not good anymore. But yeah, I remember it had to be like 2012, I think. I'm pretty sure it was that year because I skated for Hope Racing at the time, and we had that deal with like several teams, like Bont and Kurt was making us wheels. So that was when he came out with that wheel, and it had no label on it. We literally were skating on prototype purple wheels. And that's the first year that I ended up winning the 300. And it was on those. And those wheels were my favorite.
Yeah.
I like the outdoor IQ wheels.
Oh, IQs. Haven't heard those in a while.
Take it back to 2011.
Yeah, I think I wore those as a juvenile in 2011 at Indoor Nationals. They had an indoor and an outdoor version.
Yeah, I remember. Darian, didn't we skate on them in like 2010, 2011?
Annette, you and I just had the same reaction. Like,
Well,
you guys were
I think
gone.
we were racing. Well, you guys were like tiny, but we were racing before there was even banded wheels. Like when banded wheels came in, it was like.
2010 was the first year of the banded wheel because I know 09 didn't have them. Yeah.
2010 into Worlds in Colombia, and they came out with these banded wheels, and I had no idea what that meant. And I put them on without even trying them for on track as this tiny little junior, and like I couldn't skate. I felt Bobo. I felt like I couldn't cross. I was like, "This is horrible. What is this? Give me back my normal wheels."
Yep.
I just confirmed that I have skated on non-banded wheels.
Yeah, you definitely have. You were around long enough.
No, when I was younger, my favorite, I think it was like juvenile or something, those yellow and blue matters.
Yep.
Those were my favorite.
Those were the days, though. Those were
right.
It reminds me of like Tampa Classic at the
yes.
Tampa.
Yeah, I've seen you wear those. Yeah. Wow,
Yep.
those are old.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I wore all them too.
I had the pink and the
We
green.
didn't have a
and the blue
band.
NPCs.
Yeah, no band. Yeah, the year that I won freshman, we didn't have banded wheels because it was the IQ, the Atom wheel.
Yeah.
Was it the IQ? No, it was before that.
Oh, the IQ was the first banded wheel.
Yeah, it was the one before that, the last one that they made. The whip.
Orange ones?
The
Atom whip.
They were either orange or green, I think.
Atom whips were orange and green, yeah.
Okay, well, it was the last one of the non-banded. I forget. I think it was the whip before they changed it. But yeah, crazy.
This is NPC, right?
Atom.
Adam?
Yeah.
Remember when they were still working out the wheels so that the hubs didn't like come out of the wheel? Does anyone remember that?
Yeah, I do.
I watched Jake's Powers like face plant right in front of me because his hub came out.
I broke one at Outdoor Nationals one year in the 1,000 heat. I was probably racing you at that point because it was like my first year, and the hub came off. It was a black track, I think, one of the NPCs. It just came off. Yeah.
I can't even fathom it. I've seen it, but wow. I think they fixed the problem since, but I remember that being a thing for a while.
Yep, I think that was the only time it happened to me, but I do remember. That was probably like 09, so. Yeah. Crazy.
Anybody ever broken a hub skating? It came to my mind because one of my friends,
Just that one, I think.
Rain Wright, she broke her hub going up the hill at Trexlertown. And so she had to
How the
walk
heck?
all the way back down.
That's a weird spot.
Yeah.
Only from crashing. I've broken one like that. And then the one that fell off. Other than that, I haven't.
I know Erica doesn't like Trexlertown. She's fallen too many times in races.
I haven't broken any hubs because I'm not a powerful skater at all. But I in Italy, when they last minute, I think Mackenzie was there, they last minute changed the venue for the marathon. The road had so much horrible vibration that my wheels were coming off during the race.
Oh, that's right.
So so I kept a tool on me, and Aaron Jackson is actually behind me pushing me while I'm cranking over my wheels to tighten them up periodically. It was so bad.
You know, I was just gonna say that I've broken multiple like frames, not wheels, but frames. Like I go through like 2 or 3 frames like every season.
From falls or?
Yeah, mostly from crashes, but like sometimes like I'll bend them, but like other times I've actually like broken like the aluminum. Yeah. It's not fun. Frames are expensive.
Yeah.
Can I ask like a very real question of everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So like when these things happen at like races like Trexlertown, West Palm, the Philly meet, even outdoor nationals, do you just get so enraged, or have you become sort of masters of your emotions? And if so, how did you get to be masters of those emotions?
I've done, I mean, while the pause is going, I've done a lot of mental training. Everything that I mental train as much as I physically train. So, and I always mentally train for the worst possible scenarios. So that's how I deal with a lot of the things that happen. And sometimes I just find things funny, like wheels trying to fall off in the middle of a race, stuff like that. You got to find humor in the stupid things that tends to happen. But I will say that some of my emotions did get to me at my very first, my second Worlds in 2011, South Korea. I was tossed around like a rag doll. I was not prepared to be punched, kicked. I had my boobs grabbed. I had someone using me as a Chinese slingshot. So that was infuriating for me, that I felt like I was in Derby. I didn't train for Derby to be outdoor, for Worlds, but for me that was frustrating for me. But you just kind of end up hitting back, I guess, a little bit to kind of protect yourself.
I think for me, when I was younger and even going in through my teen, I had a very hot head. I'd blow up very quickly. But thankfully, my mom is the same way. She has a pretty quick temper. She used to tell me just to go off by yourself. You have to breathe. You got to figure out why you're doing it. If you can't find a reason why we're doing it, then guess what? We're going home. So she was very to the point. I think that's the biggest thing, is just you have to breathe and go off by yourself sometimes. Don't talk to anyone. Just tell your coaches, your parents, I'll talk to you in 10 minutes. 10 minutes goes by, you're good. That would be my biggest advice for that.
I think I struggled a lot with this. Like when things would go wrong, like at meets and stuff, it would kind of drag me down, and sometimes my results would just get worse from there. And I think just over the years, I kind of progressed on like learning how to come back faster. People that were at Worlds last year know that the first day of racing, I was going to get a silver medal, like already had enough points, like just had to finish the race and I would get a silver in the points elim. And I crashed one corner before the last elimination. So I ended up losing all my points. I got 11th overall. I split my hand open. I still have a scar on it. And just like super beat up, road rash everywhere. And that just like really brought me down. And then the next day was the thousands, and I didn't skate like myself at all. Didn't even make it to the final. Like there were girls that I was racing against in Europe that I had beat like every European Cup that were in the final of the thousands, and like, so I should have been in there for sure, and I just like didn't skate like myself in the semis. So I think that the first day was that was the reason. Like, I just was not in it, my head wasn't in it. And my coach Kalen Dobbin, like, he came up and like we had dinner that night, and he kind of gave me like a pep talk and kind of like cleared my mind. So then the last day I went out there and I was like, you know what, like, that's in the past. Like, I got to think about the future. And I just like forgot about everything that had happened, and I went and focused on that one race, and that was the race, and it ended up winning. So I think like I just have to remember to like, that's in the past. Like, don't think about that now. You can't change it. You can't go back and change it. So I think that's one of the biggest things I've always struggled with, was coming back from a hard thing.
Yeah, I'm the same. If I have a really bad race in the beginning, like I was at American Championships, like I didn't get any points in one of the races, and I had to shake it off because 20 minutes later I had a next race, and it was either you place and get on the podium or you don't. And I just kind of have to breathe because my anxiety can get up during those things.
I think for me, the biggest thing was, I mean, if you guys know me, you know that there's not a lot of things that really like get to me. Like, I'm usually pretty calm. Like, there are a lot of things that I just don't really let take up space in my mind, but I think for me, it was more so when the bad times did come around, looking at the bigger picture. Like, really, if I get second, if I get third, if I get fourth, like if I get last, like, how is it affecting my life in the bigger picture, Like, how is it really going to affect me? Yes, I'm going to be upset. Yes, I may cry. That happens. But it's really not changing that much. So bouncing off of what you guys said, you just gotta get over it. Like, it happens a lot, especially in speed skating. It happens a lot. Things happen, but you just kind of have to look at the bigger picture. This isn't going to affect a job that I want to get in the future. This isn't going to affect the school that I want to go to in the future. This isn't going to affect my family. So it's just, you have to really try to step back and slow down and just think about really everything.
That's one of the main things I learned from you, Cheska.
Yeah, your mom tells me that all the time. Like, with me last year at American Championships, I skated so bad there. And I was like deep training. I hadn't really been skating a whole lot of indoor. Like, I was doing a lot of sprint work to get ready for Worlds. And I was just skating so bad there. And like, it was almost like whatever like people told me, like I was just like so hung up over it. And the only thing that helped me was I had to get my trainer on the phone. And he was telling me, you have to look at the bigger picture. Like Cheska was saying, like Worlds, like who cares about this? Like, that's not what you're working for.
Yeah. So
I think I have a big problem. I'm really hard on myself sometimes, but you got to step back, and it does take other people telling you, like, this isn't really what you're training for. Like, focus on the future, the bigger things that you have going.
It makes me so happy that my mom told you that, because she's
my mom,
not the one to say that.
My mom, my mom and your mom talk every day, and I overhear things that like your mom is telling my mom to tell me. So I hear it a lot.
That's good. That makes me happy.
For me, being that last year was my first Worlds, and hopefully there's plenty more, because I look up to a lot of you that have had, 2 to 10 Worlds under your belt. I hope to and aspire to be that person, even if it's not consecutively. But I think last year for me, it was my 15,000 meter on road, and it was in a limb. And I just remember, like, I was looking at the line and I accidentally thought it was like the wrong line, because they have like multiple lines versus like where we started. Like, I don't know, I for some reason thought that there was one line before the actual start line where they were eliminating. And so I came to the first line and thought that I was fine, and we came across the second line and I was eliminated. and I knew that I could have gone longer, but it was just like some like silly mistake, and I was just like, I can't believe that I thought that. And in hindsight and looking at it, I'm like, yeah, I made a mistake, and I've learned from that, and I know, like, I guess to just pay more attention and not get so like caught up. Like, I'm at Worlds, I'm at my first Worlds, I'm 14 years old, and also thinking like when I did I think it was the 10,000 points elim, I got 26th out of like 55, and I was kind of mad at that, but I was also like, I'm 26 at my first Worlds, and hopefully it can only get better from there. So I can't be mad at myself for making my first Worlds and being down on myself for being in the top 50%. So that's kind of the way I had to start looking at it and things like that. And ever since then, that being a really good experience for me, that's how I've started looking at things more often, not just in skating, but in life in general.
I wanted to add on to like where the bigger picture and things. Like I went to Worlds and I was actually not supposed to I wasn't supposed to race anything. I was there basically to skate the marathon, and that was it. And at first I was mad, and I walked away. Kelsey got mad at me because I left the room and everything. But then I like calmed myself down. I said, okay, the bigger picture is I'm training with other people that are racing. And so like I was alternate for things. So I was making sure everybody else was ready and had everything all the time. And
yes, thanks Jazzy for the massages.
But I mean, the bigger picture later is you learn no matter what when you're there. It's an experience. So the bigger picture was, even though I did get to race the 1,000, which I was very, very thankful for, the bigger picture was just getting the experience for me again still.
Yeah, I also think like you have to make the most of a situation. For those who were there last year, know that the track was not great.
Oh boy,
it was terrible. So I think like for me personally, I was kind of like panicking before races because I didn't know what wheels to wear. And then going into the relay, I was really panicking because I was trying to make it out. We were trying to make it out of the heat, and then I ended up falling at the end. But I think you just got to make the most of it. Even like if the track's bad, if your wheels aren't great, the weather isn't right, you just got to try and make the most of it.
Never's the best.
I mean, and being in a foreign country, if you went to China in 2016, 2017, Taiwan, you're having to make the best of Worlds. So
yeah. In 2010 here, you're making the best of it.
If was anybody else Korea where we had to go to that fun place for food every night?
Oh
my gosh, remember that place?
That place sucked. Clown.
It was so
Partyland. It was Partyland.
It was a
Partyland. That's what it was. Yeah.
It was not a Partyland. Let me tell you.
Horrible.
Which was that?
Worst
Korea?
thing ever. It was South Korea. It was horrible.
2011.
2011. Okay.
Yeah.
South Korea was 2006. So we had KFC on every block and Outback.
Yeah.
Nice.
We didn't have Outback, I don't think. I remember eating McDonald's and Pizza Hut like the whole time.
If anybody else has anything else to say, I have a question piggybacking off of looking the bigger picture. What are you going to chase post skating? Some of us are already. I'm done. I'm teaching, and it is a huge transition going from racing at a high level to basically civilian life. And so I'm actually kind of curious as to what career path you guys are all chasing or are going to plan on chasing, because some of you guys aren't even close to graduating yet, but path are you guys going to go to?
I'll go. I studied last year, got my license and everything to do health and life insurance. I'm a year into the business, and I'm already looking at things like Medicare and PNC and stuff like that. So that's given me a sense of like goals and everything. But but I'm honestly really passionate about stopping like human trafficking. So that's my next step, is to kind of, like, okay, career is a career, but what am I doing to make a difference in the world? And I think that for people like us, we need a sense of purpose. So like, yes, we can pursue a career, we can do this, but I think most of us probably just want to help other people and make the world a better place at this point. I know all you girls a little bit in some way, and you're all amazing human beings. So I can just see that from you. So yeah, I'm curious that's a great question, because it's always like, what's next? This isn't going to be forever. So I want to hear it too.
I think everybody should say it. Everybody needs to say, what they're looking to do in the future.
Cheska, you're up then.
Okay. So some of you may know that I was pursuing nursing, but I have actually decided to change my mind, and I want to move into the lab. So I'm applying to a program at University of Washington. The title is Medical Laboratory Science. So I will be a medical laboratory scientist, and I will be in the hospital basically testing specimens, testing, your blood, testing your saliva, testing literally anything that you can get off of a human to find, find out why you're sick.
I can see that. I can see that.
I'm sending you samples soon.
Yeah. And I'm hoping to go into microbiology, which is like the study of bacteria and stuff. So that's what I'm hoping to, I guess, specialize in the future.
Nice. Can I go next? I need to jump off after I answer this one, so I'll answer this one, but then I gotta go. So I obviously graduated last May. So yeah, a year and a half ago with communication studies and public relations. So ideally, once I'm done, I want to work for like a pro sports team. I don't know exactly what yet, but I love sports, so that's obviously, you all know that. So working for like the high up corporate like communications type of thing, I think would be pretty sick. So we'll see where I end up, but that's my plan for skating, but we'll see.
I'll go next.
I'm gonna get off then, so bye guys.
Bye, Ken.
Thank you for being here, Jazzy. See you all soon. Bye.
I just saw you.
Okay, so what I want to do, I want to become a personal trainer and help others achieve their goals. And in the future, I want to own my own gym.
Can we get like free access if you have your own gym?
Maybe.
I mean, I'm in college now. I'm a sports management major. I'm kind of like in the boat with Kenzie. I do want to work for like a pro team because I love sports and everything. I also like making videos of things, so maybe a combination of that as well.
I think for me, I want to go and get my PT license and start doing a lot of work with that. After I pulled my groin last season, I had to do a lot of PT work, and it was very intriguing for me to see how the process of how the body heals. And then after that, hopefully I'll be going after my sports medicine physician's degree. That's going to take 12 years though, so hold your breath on that.
Make sure you go to a college that doesn't make you take zoology to become a chief. Just putting that out.
I think for me, I've already kind of like set out somewhat of a map like of like my school and stuff. So like right now I'm living in Utah for short track. So I'm gonna go. USP Skating has a scholarship for SLIC, Salt Lake Community College. So I'll go there for the first 2 years to do general studies. And then I'm not sure what I want to do with my next 2 years, but I definitely want to do something like medical, like either be a nurse or EMT or like something around those lines, maybe a PA. I'm not really sure, but I've kind of like also decided like after the if I make it after the 2026 Olympics, that'll probably be like around when I stop skating, so I can focus on life goals and stuff like that, because at some point it needs to end, I need to focus on the rest of my life and enjoy skating while it's still here and still available.
Okay, I gotta hop off. I completely forgot. What was the question? Was it our career stuff? I'm sorry.
Yeah, what are you gonna do post skating, like career wise?
Okay, I gotta hop off too, because we're like midst family traveling. But I am a biomedical science major right now. I have about another year and a half of school left, and I'll have my bachelor's, and then it's to PA school. And I think it's probably going to be like family practice, but we'll see once we get into that. So, all right, it was great to see all of you guys, and I hope everyone is awesome and fabulous and staying safe. Jazzy, thanks for putting this together.
Yes.
And I will see you guys soon.
See you, Katie.
Bye.
Bye, Katie.
Bye. All right, after that one, I have to jump off. I have a job interview I have to go to. So,
well, good luck.
Good luck.
Good lucky. Bye. Good luck.
Guys.
They talking about what after going for a job.
I know, right? Perfect.
It is.
Well, I'll go in. So when I stopped skating, I had just gotten my real estate license, like literally right before Outdoor Nationals. And that's why I decided to not go to Worlds that year. So I got into real estate. And now I actually coach real estate agents. So I have about 50 agents that I run a coaching program out of my office. Sell a few houses here on the side too, just for friends and family. But then in November, I'll be a mom. So.
Yeah. Get names picked out?
Yeah, Cameron Scott. So Kirsten and Kelsey were just gender reveal.
I love it. Congratulations.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Should have been a girl.
Yeah, they have 60 days to make the announcement.
I need proof, Haley. I still need proof.
They could do it.
What about you, Dee?
So kind of ties into the question before this, but like about taking advantage of skating and enjoying it while you got it. 2 years ago now, I had my really bad accident where I had repercussions for a good solid 8-9 months. And that turned it into I wasn't able to skate anymore. Like, it wasn't my choice. It didn't matter how much I wanted to do it. And it was funny because before that, I was kind of thinking about backing off a little bit. I was ready to take a break. I didn't really want to train anymore. I didn't really want to do anything. So when it turned into now it's not my choice, it kind of put like another, I want to do it now. Because I can't do it, I want to do it. And it kind of changed my mind for a lot of things. Like, I used to get so nervous and so stressed out about stuff for skating and treat it like, put so much stress on myself internally that I didn't need anyone else to do it for me. And it made skating miserable, like to a certain point. Like I ended up not enjoying it anymore. And I think that's something that's like super important for you younger kids that are on here is enjoy it. Like I understand that we spend our whole lives and like for lots of us, I mean, we were training 5-6 days a week. Your life revolves around this, but don't take it so serious to where you stop enjoying it. Because now, because of my accident, if I wouldn't have had it, then I wouldn't feel the way that I do. And I probably would have quit, if I'm honest. But because of my accident, like I still want to keep skating. I'm finishing my bachelor's in business administration and my associate's in psychology. And honestly, right now, I just kind of want to keep skating and I want to start coaching and I want to grow my program. And I started doing triathlon just because I wanted to branch out and try to reach out to more sports and see what I could do to help kids there. Like, it's honestly all I want to do. It's real simple.
What about you, Mickey?
Well, considering that I'm only 15 right now and I turned 16 in less than 5 months, I still have quite a ways before I can graduate and all that, but that doesn't mean that I don't start thinking about it now for the future. So I've thought about it a long time, and I've always wanted to go into, for a long time I thought about being like a 911 dispatcher. And then I also thought about being a cop for the Washington State Patrol, like my mom works for them as well. And I thought about, right now I'm scheduled to go into Washington State Patrol Academy when I'm 19 and a half. That way when I'm 21, I can, actually be able to carry like a gun and have all that and be a highway patrolman for 2 to 4 years. And then I want to go into aviation for the Washington State Patrol. So I want to fly helicopters and planes.
I mean, I guess I'll go next because I'm basically the only person that hasn't talked besides Kayla. But I'm a senior right now, and so I'm in the middle of applying to like a bunch of colleges. Right now, I want to go to University of Washington, just like Jessica. But I think I want to do something in forensic science or law or something like that because I find it really interesting. So.
Yeah, me too. I'm gonna be a senior. Obviously all online this year, which kind of sucks because you can't enjoy the whole senior experience, but it's okay. I have always struggled like what I want to do career wise. I've like leaned towards like EMT for a long time, or like I'm not really sure yet, but something like Corey said, like medical. But I got to figure that out soon because I'm graduating next year.
You got time. I think the only other one is Alexis and Jazz.
I mean, I don't really know what I want to do yet, so I can't really say anything, but it's probably going to be in the medical field. Somewhere around there, yeah.
A lot of people going on the medical field, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. But I'm not smart enough to do that.
Same. And it's a lot of school, like years and years and years of school. So
To be honest, I actually had a plan mapped out because I was going to go into the medical field as like a physical therapist and everything. And then zoology hit me basically. But I had a plan mapped out where I was going to go to Kutztown, get my degree, and then go to Millersville because they had a really good physical therapy program. But now I'm going with sports management. But with that, I can get a dual minor basically with as a trainer kind of, and then as coaching as well, because I had to take a coaching class and we had to get certified for everything.
Usually biology, chemistry, anatomy, physiology. Take out all the people who say they want to be in the medical field, then they take those classes, they're like,
oh my god, I'm so bad at biology. I barely got a B my freshman year.
It's all right. I'm bad at chemistry, but
I always said medical field, but I probably go along like what Jasmine said, like sports management.
I took biology and it was fine, but literally the first day of class, we sat down for zoology, put numbers on the board, and it was 43% of his class failed. That's not even including the ones that withdrew from the class. I was like, why would you put those numbers up?
Yeah, biology and physics for me were just a train wreck in high school.
Physics for sure.
I love physics.
I was really good at STEM physics.
I think I got 1A on a test, and that was like the syllabus test. So, but luckily, like most of our grades were like labs, so it was okay. But I'm terrible at physics.
Only biology, chemistry, and physics were probably my favorite classes, to be honest.
Really utilize those practice days. I don't care if you got to put your hair in a bun and sneak out there with the boys. Make sure you figure it out before the racing starts. Otherwise, you're going to, and take it from me, like I've literally gone through an entire nationals without figuring out my wheels. Okay. And it comes down to the last race, and all of a sudden I get a medal because I finally figured out my wheels. Okay. So just make sure you're figuring it out before the race starts, even if you have to go there a little bit early. And I know that it's hard because you're not there, money, there's so many different factors and variables, but if you can just spend extra time on the floor, like don't worry about getting tired for your competition. Really, you're just getting warmed up. You've been training, you're going to be fine. So my best advice to you is try different wheels on your own floor, and two, utilize those practice days to the best of your ability. If you can switch out your wheels between practice rounds, do that. And nothing's ever going to be perfect. It will never be perfect, but if you can kind of get a system down, know what you like and what you don't like. For me, I liked a little bit extra grip. If that meant I had to push harder, fine. But I know that, so I'm going to have more grippy wheels in my arsenal than those like harder, more rolly wheels. So that was just me.
Last year at Roanoke, I missed both practice days because I was driving down with my mom from college because I couldn't take any time off. So I literally woke up like 4 a.m. because my parents had to set up for the booth. So I put my skates on. It was like 4:30, trying to make sure I get all my wheels right and everything.
And yeah. No, I mean, life hits you hard. Yeah.
Darren, I want to ask you. I know you skated on which wheels did you skate on for trials last year?
Ooh. I don't know.
I remember you said something because I said, are you going to try the newer wheels that he just made? And you're like, no, I'm sticking with what I have.
Yeah, no. So the whole thing with that, if somebody, no matter who it is, or if I'm getting the wheels for free, or if I'm wearing a uniform, I'm a strict believer, and I'm not going to put on wheels the day of competition because you want me to. I do not care if I think that I'm the best or the worst. Not going to do it just because I have principles. And I don't agree with it. I think it's messed up for somebody to ask that of athletes. If you want to sponsor that, whether you're sponsoring them or not, I think it's kind of messed up to send wheels and be like, yeah, you need to put these on because I said so.
Yep. Especially
at World. Yep. Yeah, World.
Just practice, then maybe, but not right before.
Practice, sure. I'll go try them out. Give me a few days. Give me a week. I'll let you know how they are. But for competition, especially after the whole thing is, for me, whatever I like to train on, that's what I want to race on. And if they don't work on the floor, if they don't work on the track, I'm just going to deal with it. That's my opinion. That's what I do. I don't really like to change wheels.
No,
A lot of people need to find something that works on. I don't skate anymore, so it's not that bad for me.
Nope.
Yeah, so I just gotta make it work out there.
All right, I do have a question. One more question, because I know not all of us have raced each other, but so like I raced. Actually, the only people I haven't raced is Annette and Rihanna probably. But what was your favorite races with each other that you have raced with?
I'm gonna say when I first came back, I retired for 10 years, and then I came back and tried out for Team USA and had to race Bree. At that point had no clue who she was, and found out that I had a very highly competitive distance skater that was just like me. Only she had the edge on me with she had a sprint. I am solely distance. I can go hard forever, but so can she. But she had a sprint. But I will say, my favorite memory, because I really think I only raced Bree once. Bree in the middle of the race, I must have had a Jolly Rancher or a lozenge, and in the middle of a race, I don't know if she was getting angry because she couldn't shake me, but like she spit it out like right in front of me. I was like, what the hell? She had that in her mouth the whole time. I mean, we were like close to the finish of this race, and I could never imagine somebody having that in their mouth. I have to ask, Bree, what the heck was that?
Okay, so in Colorado, I used to get the worst dry mouth when I was racing. So my coach was like, just use a cough drop. So I always had a cough drop right in my like spandex like leg area. And it was funny because Cheska, your mom, was actually talking about this the other day when I was there biking with them. And they were joking about how like I always had like a cough drop there. And if I spit it out, probably it was just annoying me, honestly. And I was just like, bye. Yeah, I don't know.
I wasn't prepared for that. It was the first time I've ever seen anybody spit something out towards the end of a race.
Sounds like such a Brie thing.
Were you there when I a water bottle, like a empty one, flew onto the track and I grabbed it and just threw it away? Listen, if something's in my way, move, or I'm gonna move you. I just don't know. That's good times.
My favorite race, I always say this, it was 2014 with Darian at Worlds. It just was a perfect race. Everything was perfect, and we were, I guess, the first people, not the first, but there's been a gap where 2 USA skaters were on the podium together, and we were able to do that. And it was my first year, even getting to a final at Worlds, and let alone with somebody else. That will always be one of my favorite memories.
That race was awesome. I remember going up to Gypsy before the final because the year before I had gotten 4th at nothing. And I went in and I was like, Gypsy, I'm so nervous. This is all I wanted to do all year. I just want to get a medal. And her response was like, here, Gypsy. She's like, so go do it. Got it.
Classic Gypsy.
And that was the perfect race. Just everything went perfect in that race for us. And I just remember celebrating and turning around and seeing Cheska was right behind me. I was like, this is awesome. I was so happy. I cried.
It was great. And it was great. Everything was perfect. And I remember it was 1 lap to go, and we were in the perfect spot, and in my head I was just like, this isn't happening. Half a lap to go, this isn't happening. Half a lap to go, I know there's 5 people behind me that are super fast. What's going on?
Sitting behind us, what's going on?
I'm just I don't get this, but whatever. We're gonna get to the finish line, and we did, and yeah, it was great. It was really great.
Oh my God, that was one of my favorites. I know I was from afar watching, but I was pretty psyched when I saw those results. So congrats on that, ladies.
Well, I'm gonna do 2 separate because I've never raced Kayla and Corey in the same race. Well, I have, but it's always sprint and then distance. But with Kayla, I think my favorite race was the 100 meter 2018 because I think it's the closest anyone is, just the difference. And her mom posts it every year. I wait for it every year just to see because it's so crazy.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous, how close those type of things can get.
Yeah.
But that's what makes it exciting.
Yeah. Because I saw someone posted a picture on Inline Talk earlier, and it was it was half wheel difference. I was like, Kayla and I got that beat by a lot.
That wasn't even a half a wheel. It wasn't even a quarter of a wheel.
It wasn't even the urethane of the wheel.
Yeah, that was just crazy.
And then the next year when you placed, I was just so happy because I was
I was so nervous. And then when I raced it at Worlds, I was like, oh my God, I was so nervous. I remember it was the semifinal, and obviously, if you can only get through if you win. And I just remember standing there, and I was just like, oh my God, I better not screw this up. I mean, I didn't make it, but 16th in the world isn't that bad for my first time.
Not at all.
I mean, I'll take it.
I think my favorite race Corey was the same year. It was the points race on road, and for some reason everybody's shins were blowing up. I mean, it was a parking lot. So, and Corey was just cruising by everything else, and she was just kind of helping me. I was trying to fight her for points. Of course, I was never going to be Corey for points, but she just kind of helped me throughout the entire race, and it was really cool and a lot of fun. And ended up she got first, and I got second. It was the first points race I placed in, I think.
One of my most exciting races was with Kelsey and Jasmine and Kayla that I know right off the top of my head. And that was last year in the 5,000 meter at Am Champs. That was a really good race. We were all like really, really close until the end, and then I fell.
I hated that
and-
race. I'm not a distance person.
Did you?
Oh my
watch it?
gosh, I think you got a warning, Kels, for blocking me with your butt because somebody said that I was coming up on the outside and you stepped to the outside, so you were blocking me with your butt, and I was like, really, Kelsey? And then my other race that I was talking about was, I think there was like 20 of us or something, and I know Kelsey and Alexis were two of them that were in the race with me. And I think it was a 3,000 meter at Federal Way battle in Seattle. I think it was the year before. And it was an open. And I had a lot of fun in that race because A, it was a 3,000 meter, and B, I placed third, so I was actually quite shocked with my results. And those are just like a few of the races that I truly remember like being really proud about.
Yeah, I posted that 5,000 meter. It was pretty crazy.
I watched it and they were like,
Yeah.
they were like, oh, I think I like was one of the last to be eliminated. And at the time, like I said earlier, I wasn't doing any distance stuff. And they were like, oh, like that Kayla Duke's eliminated. That's a shame. And like everyone's like, yeah, she's not a distance person. That's why.
Yeah.
I can go next. I think my favorite race, I have two. One was the 500 in 2014, racing against Mariah, Aaron, and Haley. And I just did a short jab at the line and ended up beating Haley. And I was just so excited because I've never, ever beaten Haley before. And another race was, I think I was my second year sophomore year. And I actually placed at nationals for the first time in like probably like 5 or 6 years. And that was with Kelsey and Francesca.
I think like one of the most fun races we all skated at indoor was the NFC race last year at Indoor Nationals, the Grand Champions race. There was like so much like battling and like crazy. I liked it because of the excitement of like that everyone had for it, and it really like brought attention to like the girls can be rough too, and the girls can make crazy passes too. It's not always just the boys. And then my favorite race like ever would be like my race that I won worlds at last year, but the 10K on track. No, 15. 10K. No, 15K. I don't know. It was the limb on track. Yeah, that would be my favorite race, but that's because that was my best race ever. So
Literally, we were at the end, and Kelsey and I think we jumped so high. It was
I
like,
almost fell off the bleachers for you, Corey. We were all people were like looking at us, but like I don't even think we cared.
Yeah, it's a great memory for me. It makes me really miss outdoor skating and inline racing and stuff.
My favorite race was between Cheska and I. One in NSC, we were battling back and forth and all the races, and our legs were just so tired at the end. We were dying, but it was a really fun race.
And we had to hawk in like every race, and I was like, okay,
oh my gosh,
I can't keep doing this, or I'm literally gonna fall over.
Yeah, that was fun though. It's always fun racing everybody.
I think I'm going to end with, what advice do you think you'd give to the younger female athletes that want to try to get in the position that we're at now?
Ladies, when you're at practice, make it a priority to beat the boys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Every
For
time.
sure.
Listen, I don't care if you know that they're better than you, who cares? Keep chasing them until you're beating them. And then magic happens. That's all I got.
I would have to agree with Brianna. Always chase, usually you're chasing the boys. Always chase the boys. Always challenge the boys, especially with passing, because they tend to do more aggressive passing. And so getting used to that aggressiveness really makes you stronger. But also just never give up. And if you have a goal, please keep it in your mind to keep going, because shout out for the underdogs here. Even if you feel like you're not capable of being the top, you never know what could happen. Just keep working for it and never give up.
And have fun.
Yeah.
Yes.
Have lots of fun.
My God, Cheska, I don't know how many practices we were at where we weren't having fun. Like,
exactly.
We're always laughing, having a good time. We just genuinely enjoyed what we were doing.
It makes it so much better once you get to that point. Like, it makes it 1,000 times better and easier to train, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes you actually want to be there. Right.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say too. Like, just enjoy your time skating, because once you lose that, like, you're not going to want to be there. So just enjoy what you're doing and enjoy the ride. It's more about that than all the medals that end up on your wall at the end, even though they're important, but still making friends like this along the way and just enjoying traveling and everything like that. I think that's what meant the most to me. So that would be my advice.
If you can, like if your parents can afford it, to start international races early rather than later. It helps out a lot.
Yep.
Starting out at younger is always better than starting out later, in my opinion.
The traveling and having fun and experiencing, like, not just, you know, the skating's awesome.
Oh, it's probably the dentist.
Make sure you're like balancing out skating and other stuff that you're doing in life. Makes everything that much easier.
I think the biggest thing for trainings is when you're having a bad one, just try to find something positive that you're doing in it. Because if you find that positive, it's just something to go off of for the next practice, or just something to say, you know what, I did this right. Everything else I didn't do right, but I did this. I think that's a big key to bad practices.
I was going to say, bouncing off of Erica, you know, you're absolutely right. I think the one thing that a lot of people are afraid to learn, and is absolutely necessary to learn in any kind of sport, is how to lose. And it's really what she's basically saying, is you need to learn how to lose before you can actually learn how to win. So just like she's saying, you know, look back and, you know, analyze how you did and what you need to do better is really important on your track to success.
So if you made it this far, thank you. It was a lot of great information from a lot of talented female inline speed skaters, athletes, all at the world-class level. And I'm very thankful that they were all able to join me on this call. Thank you guys all so very much. You guys had great advice, some I need to take in as well for me to become a better skater and athlete myself. So I thank you all very much for joining me, and I hope everybody enjoyed the video. And please don't forget to like and subscribe, because I may do something like this again, probably a little bit smaller, but I'll try to work on that. Thanks for watching.
Line me up.